All right, everybody, welcome back to the #1 television program in the history of the entire universe. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown, all three books published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today I'm going to be reviewing Daughter of the Empire by Raymond E. Feist and Janny Wurts. Janny Wurts, not sure how you pronounce it. Anyway, this book came out in 1987, and it was the beginning of a trilogy that was called, I don't know what it was called. Anyway, had 3 books in it. Book number 2, Mistress of the Empire, and book number 3, Servant of the Empire. This is a collaboration between Raymond E. Feist and Janny Wurts, and of course, Raymond E. Feist is the author of the wildly successful Magician Rift War saga of some 20 books. And Janny Wurts is the wildly successful author of the Wars of Light and Shadow epic fantasy series of some 10 books I've got up there. Maybe 12 books, I don't know. Anyway, 2 magnificent authors, 2 legends in the field, combined in the late 1980s for this trilogy. Each one, let's talk about the cover first, because you know I love graphic design and cover illustration. This book has a great illustration by the artist Don Mates, who, by the way, is the husband of Janny Wurts. In fact, Janny Wurts is a great illustrator her own self. She illustrated these books. But anyway, Don Mates did these, and they're great. I mean, they got a nice wraparound cover. Each one of them in the series. Book number 2, another great Don Mates painting. Book number 3. And they all look fantastic when you put them together on the shelf, because, you know, the spines, for the most part, the spines all match. So, you know, we got to give kudos to the publisher for making a really nice set of books for us here. Now, the Rift War saga is this trilogy here that these 2 authors have collaborated on are based off of Raymond Feist's world. They're not based off of anything Janny Wurts did on herself, but they're based off of Raymond Feist's Rift War saga. Now, the Rift War saga is basically a fantasy where there's a fantasy world, kind of like Tolkien, that gets invaded with a portal, like a Stargate, to a different fantasy world, which is sort of like, and I don't know whether this fantasy world is based, the portal fantasy is based off of clearly in Raymond Feist's Rift War saga, it's more medieval, like England, and then there's a portal that these characters can go back and forth from to another fantasy world that's based off of, I'm thinking like a Japanese / Aztec type of society, just based off of the the illustrations that are done here. That's kind of what it looks like. So anyway, there was this portal in the Rift War where the different fantasy worlds went through the portals and fought and warred with each other. And we got the sort of the Raymond E. Feist version is from the medieval England type of thing. And then this one, they decided to do a fantasy trilogy set in the other world on the other side of the portal. And that's what we get here. That was the worst explanation I could have ever given. We'll try to edit it. We'll have ChatGTP rearrange all of what I'm saying in my voice. Anyway, so what is this about? It's about Mara, who is, oh, and by the way, the fantasy world is called Midcamia. This one is called Kellowan. There's a portal between them. I think I already did. That's probably all I really needed to say. Mara is 17-year-old. She's pledging her life to the Order of Nuns. See the cover? The very opening scene is depicted on the cover where she's pledging her life to the order of nuns. She's got all these badass looking guards behind her, and then these other people, the gong. They're always ringing big gongs. Everything they do, they ring a gong in this book. Just like they're banging a gong in this book. If was that Wang Chung? I don't have any Wang Chung t-shirts. Otherwise, I would have worn it. Anyway, now that can't be Wang Chung. Who the did bang a gong? Let me know in the comments who did that, because it's pertinent to the story because there are gongs. Everywhere you go in this book, there are gongs to hit. Anyway, as she is just about to pledge her life to a celibate life of nunnery, she is taken out, and she is told by her sort of bodyguard slash friend, mentor that follows her throughout this book. His name is Kyoki. She is told that there's this portal, and us Kelawan people are warring through the portal with the Mid-Kamian people, and your brother and father are in that war. They have went through the portal to go war with the guys in this, and well, they're dead. They got killed. They're dead. First, I mean, this is not a spoiler. I mean, it happens in the first few pages of the book. She's told her father and brother are dead. And now things spiral out of control. This is sort of a coming-of-age tale of Mara as she has to figure out that she's going to have to rule the country now. Or at least her portion of it, her kingdom. Because that's what her father did. So magic and murder ensue in the realm of Kelawan. Fierce warriors unite. A bitter blood feud against her family because a lot of people did not like her father as a ruler. I mean, it's just like, it's kind of like Game of Thrones, where you got different kingdoms fighting in this fantasy world, and her father's dead now, and she's gonna have to be the ruler. And the people are like, well, maybe we can take advantage of this young girl ruler if she even does it. So there's assassins and spy masters lurk around every corner as this girl tries to take control of her kingdom. There's many cunning and devious plots against her, because everyone wants to usurp the rightful heir to this man, this warrior that died in this other fantasy world that he went through a portal to fight in. And Mara is an untested ruler, and she's called upon to lead her people in a heroic struggle against the bad guys. And of course, her friend Kyoki is there, her bodyguard, her advisor. Together they must rally an army of, rebel warriors, face off. One of the side plots, which I found the most interesting, is she faces off with the alien Choja, or Koja. I don't know how to pronounce that. Cho-Ja. The Koja, this alien sort of like hive queen type of situation where we've got this it's just interesting because it's like an alien creature. Not only do we have portal fantasy between two fantasy worlds, but we got like this alien creature that's here, that if Mara and this alien spider queen can hive queen, whatever you want to call it, if they can come together, well, then Mara's army is going to be even more better, fearsome, whatever. And on top of that, one of the other side quests is she must marry the son of her most hated enemy. Basically, Mara is the Khaleesi of this world, if you know what I'm talking about. She is the Daenerys Targaryen of this world. That's actually a really good description of what's going on with her. Really good description. Daughter of the Empire, what do I think of it all together? I don't know if I liked it as much as the original Magician series, the Rift War Saga. At least the first 4 books of this, I believe, were better than this. I do also kind of enjoy Janny Wurts' own standalone fantasy of... Oh, I just about dropped that. Holy shit, I caught it. I don't know if you saw that off camera, but I caught that. It was falling, and I snatched it like a cat. Anyway, that we will not edit out, because that was dope. Anyway, so I would give this about an 8 out of 10, Now, I did read these when they came out in the late 80s, so it's been like about 12,000 years since I've read these. I do remember the series got way better with the books 2 and 3. Yeah, that's how that works. I was going to say 2 and 7, but that's not the way the numbering system goes. But I do remember it gets way better. I just do remember that. So we will be eventually reading and reviewing these on this. But for Daughter of the Empire, we're definitely giving this an 8 out of 10. Solid fantasy book written by legends in the field.